So hi everyone, and welcome back with Candace Renee, me, and my channel, Surviving and Thriving the Black Experience. I am so excited to bring back my returning guest, Christina, so we can go ahead and continue our expansion on this. And just so y'all know, we just continuing from the last video we were doing. So that's why we in the same clothes and everything. Just so y'all know, we're just continuing this, but we got to be professional, right? Okay, so my guest, Christina, whose wisdom and presence continues to resonate deeply with our audience. She's a devoted mother and a certified natural health professional. We will be going ahead and tapping into all the things that Miss Christina is in fact doing. And she is a powerful advocate for holistic healing in our communities. Today, she's joining us again, or a little on tonight, to continue a critical conversation that we began on challenging us thinking deeply about tokenism and hard truths behind the question of who really gets to be safe. Her lived experiences, as well as professional insight, brings much needed clarity and compassion to this topic. So please join me in welcoming the thoughtful and empowering Christina as we dive further into these complex but necessary truths. So hi, Christina.
Thank you.
I
Hi,
know
you are really getting me with these introductions
I
tonight.
look,
She gonna make my head big or whatever.
I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying. I told you I'm giving flowers every single time. Every time.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
So I want to go ahead and dive back into the topic that we were talking about. And so for the viewers and the audience, we were talking about the series of the Field House Boardroom. The last video I posted was in regards to us kind of going over the surface level in regards to what tokenism is, where it shows up. Christina also did a deep dive in regards to where she's seen it in her own personal life, how it affects us in regards to our identity and our self-worth within ourselves, because we're trying to essentially, when being a token person, you're not being your whole self, right, Christina? That's kind of the point that you were in fact making. So we talked about, I should say, in the last video about the cost of tokenism, right? So tell me, if we're not supposed to shoot for to be the token and or safe Black person, then what does true representation for us in the community look like?
Being authentic, showing up as yourself, showing up as the brilliant person that you are. We should all be the safe Black if we're in professional settings because we got there because of our qualifications. We shouldn't have to put on a show for anybody because anything being other than authentic is an imposter. You're coming across as something that's not you. You're acting essentially. And you know how they say that actors, even once they like learn the role, they have to go away sometimes just to like debrief from what they were doing. If we have to put that on every day, it's like wearing clothes, and we never get the chance to just shine as we are.
Right.
And I feel like if we don't get that opportunity to just be who we are, we forget who we are. And we just start playing this role. And in this role, you find a lot of unhappiness. You'll be depressed. You'll be upset with yourself because you're not getting to where you want to go. And you're not the person that you want to be. Sometimes you forget the things that you like to do, what you like to eat, the places you like to go, because you're so busy trying to fit in a construct of something that you don't fit in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just being who you are is how you really are supposed to show up. Um, and loving who you are
Mm-hmm.
matters, because if you don't have that love for what you are, what you represent, who you are, and you can't keep it real with yourself, then it's hard to keep it real with the other people around you. So I feel like us showing up and being bold, and I'm not saying bold in a loud way, but just showing up with that confidence to say, I'm capable, I'm here to do the work, I'm here to show up. We can all be safe Blacks because we all got the right answers. We all know what we're doing. We all know how to articulate. We all know how to do the work. We're capable of doing the work. Allow us to do the work. You know, I think we're stripped of so many different things about how people view us that we feel like we can't show up in spaces
Mm-hmm.
correctly. I don't know if that answered the question,
No,
but I said all that to say,
you did that
come
and
as
then
you
some.
are.
Keep going. You did that and then some. There's no problem with that, because the audience needs to hear like the true, authentic coming from a Black woman who literally have lived it and been in these experiences. So often we hear about like what somebody else went through, but no one wants to give the answers, and or no one wants to sit here and say like, no, I myself, I have lived it, not somebody I know, not my cousin, not somebody else. I have been blessed to be within a space, and yes, I still experience this. So trying to be and live up to be that safe and or token person does not always work out the way people think it's going to be.
Right.
And honestly, I would say almost 100% of the time, it's not something that you're trying to go into. It's just a category that someone else puts you into that you fall into
Absolutely.
just by trying to just be
Absolutely.
yourself. Um, so I want to talk about like kind of like conversations you think should be, what conversations do you think we should have like in the Black community kind of to dismantle this tokenism mindset? Because we need to talk to us before we can talk to somebody else. So what kind of
Right.
conversations do we need to have when people are telling us things that align with this?
Right. Before we have a conversation about what we got to do, I think we really have to check on our mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we are living in a world that says there's so much not right about us. And we're going through and changing our mindsets, our bodies, the way we look, the way we feel, just to fit another box. We
Mm-hmm.
check in boxes just to be checking them, which really has no bearings on who we really are as individuals or as women or as a race or as cultures. But I really think we have to think about who we are and remember who we are, how powerful we are, how amazing we are as Black women, how our differences make us great, how nurturing we really are, because we always hear this the signature, an angry Black woman. We're nurturing, we're lovers, we're caring, we're givers, we sacrifice, we do a lot of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we have to one think about our mental health, because when we are doing all these imposter things, or we're forgetting who we are at the core. So I think that's the first thing, is teaching young women at the age where they're still pliable enough to learn it's okay to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The curly hair is also okay. For
Mm-hmm.
you to come in without the makeup is beautiful, and if you come in with the makeup, it's beautiful. You're accepted, you're
Absolutely.
loved no matter what. Because sometimes we do the most damage to ourselves by saying, nope, don't wear that, your body ain't right for that, or don't put that lip gloss on because it's too red. And then we
Yeah.
start to nitpick people apart based off what we look like. And then sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yep.
Sometimes no one has to say anything at all. They just have to give you a nasty look. And as a child, we grow up with some of those things from our own people, and it shapes the way you think about the world. It
Yeah.
shapes the way how you view yourself and how you outwardly view other Black women. And so I think checking in on our mental health will be the first thing we do, and starting to instill like affirmations in our young women, talking to them about real things that's happening, letting them know that they're beautiful the way that they are, valuable the way that they are, and just building up their confidence. That would be like hands down the first thing I feel like we're doing. What we should be doing. Um, Ask me the question again because I
Okay.
forgot.
Oh no. So I mean I can go more in depth as well too. So I can say something. I want to know, I want to kind of dive into that. You talked about like the imposter, right? Or like the imposter syndrome. Can you go a little bit more in detail of like what that is, how to recognize, or how a person can like self-recognize in regards to their own mental health?
Yeah, I would say imposter syndrome is you going through, not maybe not life, but a period of your time doing, acting, or being someone other than your authentic self. Um, so much so sometimes you forget what your authentic self looks like, because you're so busy fitting the mold of what somebody either wanted. People do it in relationships all the time. You can only fake for so long, right? So
Mhm.
you can have a relationship that you really want, this person is beautiful, and you will fake your way into that thing and make it seem like it is going to work until it don't work. So you can fake and be genuine. You could fake and spend money. You could fake and do all these things, but at some point, that happiness in you is draining you. your self-esteem is draining you because you can't be who you really are. You're not happy. No matter what that person does or what you do, if you're not being who you are, you're not going to be happy. So I think that's one of the things that you have to look at is like, where am I at with my happiness level? And am I living my authentic self? And what does it look like if I live my authentic self? What would make me happy? And then I think with those questions, you can kind of say, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I did this, I might be a little bit more happy. It might not fix the problem, but I think those are good starters to say, I'm not where I need to be in my life, and just fixing that. Some other things that I would say is be careful of comparing yourself to other people, because that sets you up for a different type of failure. When you're saying, oh, because okay, so let me back up a little bit, because imposter could be like, I want to live this lifestyle, and you're comparing yourself to this person, not saying, okay, I'm building myself up to that person, but you're comparing yourself to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that serves no purpose as well either, because you haven't gone through what that person gone. And as that individual, you have to know, like, this is my story, this is my journey, and this is what I'm doing. The best competition is yourself, and that's the only really competition that you have out there, is yourself, to be the best version of yourself daily. So just asking yourself questions and making sure that you're aligned with what you're doing, how you're acting, and making sure that you're happy, and making sure that all those things align. If not, I think that you probably should be thinking a little bit more into that.
That's good. Actually, I was going to break down into the next question I was going to have, which was, what would you say to a young woman or man who's having a trouble with living their authentic truth? So you kind of literally just broke that down in regards to the confidence that they need to, in fact, have, and understand that they do not, in fact, have to change to meet anyone's, in fact, narrative in any way, shape, or form. Tell me about a takeaway from the video that you don't want our audience to, in fact, miss out on.
Oh, there's so much here, so much. Show up. You said it earlier. It's like to show up. And show up with your light turned all the way on. And let it be uncomfortable for yourself and for others in the room until you learn how to master it. Because I think that's so valuable, to show up with confidence and know what you're doing, and to be seen in a light of greatness when what you're doing is just being yourself.
Mhm.
So I think showing up and making sure that you show up full effect is what I took away from what you said earlier, because that's something that I feel like I struggle with. Instead of dimming the light, I want to turn it up, and I just want to live authentically in the light that's really for me to live in. So I think that's something that I would encourage any and every woman to do.
Okay. So what do you plan on doing with the knowledge? I'll say new knowledge if you learn new knowledge from the video or videos thus far. What do you plan to do with the new knowledge that you learned, and how do you plan on putting that into the world so that it keeps on being that reciprocal olive branch? I got that word from you.
Aw, thanks. Um, so I do a lot of youth work, right? And I think that this is like the perfect segue into like talking to them about what they're going to come across in the facing like the world in corporate America, hospitals, how people view them, how they will see microaggressions, how they might be micromanaged, how they might feel about certain things, how to control their actions, why it's important for us to be poised in certain conversations and certain situations. I think this is like going to be the perfect segue into them graduating high school or being juniors and seniors in high school, and then graduating high school to real life stuff,
Mhm.
real women that's talking about real life things that they might encounter coming straight out of school, or
Mhm.
something that they might encounter in colleges, that because somebody's going across seas for college, there's people that's going to be going different places. And I think this is very, very, very valuable information that they need to know in order to like navigate certain situations.
Mhm.
I wish this was around many, many years ago.
Mhm.
And I also wish that within my family we had conversations like this, because I think I would have been better prepared for the world had I had these conversations.
Mhm.
Just navigating life without others at times is very difficult, because you have nobody that has given real life examples or representation. And sometimes we're protected because our parents will handle something,
Mhm.
but everybody's not going to have their parents, and some people don't have their parents now. But I think this is really good information to pass to people younger than us, so that they're already aware and privy to the information and know what to do with it next.
I truly,
So
truly.
youth groups will be hearing this information and doing some like trainings and stuff like that, and hopefully you're gonna come out and talk to some people
Oh, I
for me.
absolutely will. So I mean, I have no problem. I'll be going ahead and getting my presentations and and everything all ready for
Appreciate
them.
you.
I will definitely be doing that because I definitely want to be able to continue to have this going because I wish, and I did say this in one of my videos, that I do wish that like I can talk to my younger self and let myself know that it's okay. Let myself know that it's okay to mess up. It's okay to bump my head a little bit. It's also okay to sit here and understand that I don't always have to apologize for being myself. I still, as a grown adult woman, find myself always apologizing. And I
Mhm.
always try to understand and try to figure out like where does that apology always come from? Why are you always not a sorry person, right? Two separate things. But why am I
Right.
always so apologetic just in general? And it's like it kind of was ingrained in me in regards to my youth, as well as the yes, ma'am, no, sir kind of complex in regards to respect. And there's certain things that just have to necessarily be dismantled because it was more or less in regards to a phase of safety that like my elders have had to go through in regards to having to be so apologetic, right?
Mhm.
In regards to survival, right? Having to in fact say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, even if these people are younger than you, to a certain extent. So just kind of like realizing like where certain things just are ingrained that you really just don't even understand where it's coming from. And so I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, um, to actually have it resonate and not just have it as something on the screen. You're actually taking it to, because that's what it's supposed to be, a resource to be able to teach the youth and or teach adults. I mean, even a prior guest, Jessica, let me know that I was talking about a certain type of like microaggression and one of the things and what a microaggression is. And she's literally gave an example of like this lady had said something and I wondered why I felt a certain way. And it was because I had a micro insult. And she's like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have really known that's what that was until like you had been explaining these things and
Mhm.
calling them out and kind of dismantling that concept of like, oh, I'm crazy, or, I don't have it, right, because I'm always either angry or I'm always
Right.
having to correct myself or something to that extent.
Mhm.
So, that's kind of the notion that I think of as well. But with that being said, I want to thank you, and that is a wrap. Is there anything else that you'd like to say um, in regards to the actual videos? Because I'm going to go ahead and give you your time in regards to you being able to share your products and what you do.
Okay. I just want to say thank you actually for opening this platform up for people to talk and giving such valuable information. I think that this is going to be a beautiful situation for so many different people. And I think it's going to be something that's utilized by so many different organizations in the future, just because it's ignored or it's not talked about. And so I'm really grateful that you are doing this and expressing things that need to be expressed and talked about. You said a multitude. It's like so many things that you just from that last statement, the last couple minutes of what you
Mhm.
said, there's so much to dig into. And I'm excited because I want to come back and now we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. Um, but just the shrinking of yourself, right? And saying sorry. Not because you're a sorry person, but just over apologetic. Even when you go to the grocery store, if somebody walks past with a cart, you're like the first to move out the way. Those little things that
Mhm.
don't realize that we do sometimes is because of trauma from our previous.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have all the answers to fix everything right now, but the conversation is a great place to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like overjoyed that this is a thing. You know what I mean? Because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much that can come from this, so much to be learned, so many conversations to be had, so much experience to be gained, so much knowledge to be gained, and so much to be passed along. So I'm super excited for you and super excited for this channel. And I can't wait for it to thrive in our Black culture and in our experience every day, because it needs to. We need to talk about it. We need to hear about it. And it's valuable that we do, and that we hear it younger, so we know what we're coming up against sooner.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that. Thank you
You're
for that.
welcome.
Thank you for that.
I would definitely thank you. Well, so thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. As you know, this is my brainchild. This was literally, of course, as you know, the background story, and some people do that, and I have to make sure I have it surface level. It's very much the concept of taking pain and putting it into my passion. And I'm just so happy and so thrilled that like it's just actually coming to fruition and it's no longer just a dream. I think a lot of the times we'll
Right.
sit here and we'll go through stuff and we'll sit here in that space and we won't move. We're
Mm-hmm.
traumatized. We won't move out of it. But I honestly feel
Right.
that God doesn't make any mistakes. And unfortunately, some of those lessons that we have to learn are painful, but that doesn't mean that you're not supposed to move through it.
Absolutely.
I'm just so humble that you're on here. I'm just so humbled to be able to do this and to be able to create this space as a whole. I'm just so humbled. So, with that being said, this was yet another necessary conversation that we had to, in fact, a complex conversation, but a necessary conversation that we had to have here on Surviving and Thriving the Black Experience. I give great, deep gratitude to my returning guest, Christina, for not only sharing her expertise, but also in regards to just helping to unpack the emotional and spiritual toll of being labeled the safe Black person in professional spaces. So these conversations aren't easy, but they are in fact essential. So especially when we're talking about survival, authenticity, and protecting one's peace in places that often demand our silence. But before we close, Miss Christina, I want you to share with our village, our people, our folks, what you in fact do, what your products are, as well as where they can find you in regards to your work and how they can connect with you in regards to your product and services.
Hype
Mhm.
me up then.
Hey.
So I am Christina Ward. I am the owner and of Shades of Almond, which is a all natural skincare company. We only use the best of the oils, the best of the shea butters, the best of the all the things. The goal is to make sure that your skin is pure and using pure products, because your skin is your largest organ. It covers your entire body and it's your first barrier from the outside world. So
Mhm.
to have your skin using the correct products without all the harsh chemicals, I don't think a lot of people know what some of the stuff that we put on our body really does. Because like chemistry and biology is my background, I'm very cognizant of what I want to put in my products, and based off what I've seen, I only want to use pure products. I think it's important that we do that because it's a lot of things in those products. For example, one chemical can have up to 100 different things in it, 100 different chemical. One fragrance can have up to 100 different chemicals in it. Some of those chemicals being which should never touch your body, which are endocrine disruptors, things that cause different things inside your body, like PCS or polycystic ovarian situations syndrome, um, breakouts, um, tumors, um, hormonal imbalances, thyroid disruption, all those things. And it really shouldn't be the fact that you want to smell good and get sick. It should just be that you can use a good product and you can still smell good and still have healthy products. So that's my focus with that. I also do lymphatic massages. And hopefully in the next 6 months or so, I'll have a wellness center because I just got certified for my holistic professional course. So I'm excited that I'm opening up new chapters and new journeys in my life. I'm very quiet about most of the stuff. So thank you, Candace, for allowing me to speak a little bit on the stuff that I do. And that's it. That's me in a nutshell.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And also, just to my audience, I am a user of her soaps, Shea Cache, as well as her Shea Souffle. And I'm trying to tell you, it's absolutely amazing. Okay. I don't use no other soap no more. My Doves is gone. My Native is gone. All my soaps. I literally have a monthly regimen of natural soaps that leave me soft, clean. And I'm trying to tell y'all, I be bathing in luxury. Okay. She has a lavender soap. And that Shea Cache, that's my. Please be sure to support her work because healing is not isn't just personal, it's collective. And we all deserve
Yeah.
access to tools, knowledge, and safe spaces that truly honor who we are. I want to thank you again, Christina, for sharing your wisdom and your healing as well as your authenticity with us. And as always, thank you for being a part of this journey with me and with us. And until next time, I want you to stay rooted, stay aware, and keep thriving. So next week, I'll be diving into the topic of the burden of representation. So be sure to make sure that you support Christina's work because healing isn't just personal, so it's collective. And we all deserve access to tools, knowledge, and safe spaces that truly honor who we are. So I want to thank you, Christina, so much for sharing your wisdom, your authenticity, and actually just unpacking everything that we have in fact been thinking in our head and actually putting the words and putting it within a safe space as well. As always, I want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us. So until next time, I want everyone to stay rooted, stay aware, and keep thriving. Next week, I'll be diving into the topic of the burden of representation. And guess what? The stuff that consistently is on my timeline for TikTok, Black fatigue. But not just the concept of Black fatigue of why for some reason we're saying that we don't want to be in assimilation with other Black people. Strangest thing ever. But stay tuned. We'll be talking about it. So until next
I
time,
can't wait for that.
surviving and thriving the Black experience with Candace Renee, I'm out. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. All right. Bye-bye.